10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Team ban. Radiant team pick. Dire team pick.
Spirit Breaker.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick. Radiant.
Shadow team.
Oh, okay, whatever, dude. I just woke up, not even trying right now, and I'm lagging.
Ок, фармлю чужой лесок. Ок, фармлю чужой лесок.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
I don't know why you're laughing so much, and I'm laughing.
I'm just enjoying the moment, you know, why
Yeah,
not?
so obviously Shadow Demon very good against Spirit Breaker for the reasons we just mentioned. The Purge takes off Bulldoze, it makes it so that he'll just die the second he goes in. And Shadow Demon paired with Luna is a very strong combination because obviously you disrupt Luna, suddenly you have Luna illusions. It's a sieging machine, it's a team fighting machine. It's a means for Shadow Demon to just push out lanes by himself as well.
Yeah.
So very, very classic combination here.
And the nice thing here, at least, is this is the moment where Liquid, Zai's been playing a lot of Spirit Breaker offlane. Against this type of lane, you probably go, okay, maybe I push it now to a 4. I'll pick up some really annoying offlane here to try and win the lane. Because you need, like, and with this type of lane, you need a ranged hero to try and just somewhat bully out the SD. But, okay, they go Rubik. Are they just fully committing to... I mean, it's very up in the air, but again, the question for Liquid is simply, are they going to try and unlock the Spirit Breaker in lane phase with a killing style hero? Or are they just going to accept that the lane is hard? And then they're going to shift, you know, momentum elsewhere on the map. But again, early in the draft.
So Rubik may not be the strongest laner, but this is their answer to the Shadow Demon Luna. They basically just want to steal the disruption from Shadow Demon and just have Lunas of their own, which is something people used many years ago. So it's just nice to see this old meta kind of come back into play with the same old counters. But yeah, that's what we can expect to see so far from what we're looking at is just a battle of Luna clones.
Yeah, I guess as well, it's just the thing where you'd argue, okay, you go Terrorblade against the Luna, right? Just instant pick Terrorblade, ban for it. But again, SD's there because disruption, what we mentioned with Luna, it completely counters the TB as well. SD's a strong hero.
Outside of stealing disruption, which is the obvious, all the spells that he could steal from these two are both quite good. So seems like a really nice Rubik game so far. Yeah,
Liquid just keeping it really up in the air right now. But of course, if we look towards the bans, it's going to be Beastmaster.
5 seconds
they just need... Tundra just needs an offlaner that everyone rounds behind, right? Like we say this a lot of times, but the way in which SD lineups operate is you want an offlaner that can be self-sufficient to unlock the SD to make stacks in the ancient camps, in the triangle. Then your Luna plays a strong lane. You push towards jungle with the Luna, farms up. Meanwhile, your offlane takes that tower. That kind of natural play unlocks a 15-minute timing to then attack your opponent. So Liquid either needs to find heroes that can invade the jungle early, or strong enough laners that it doesn't allow Tundra to enable the offlane, make the stacks, allow Luna to farm. Like that's kind of the natural beats that Tundra is looking for in their draft.
And speaking of that point, that's pretty much the reason why they ban out this Beastmaster on the side of Team Liquid, that plus the vision control versus a backline hero like Rubik that you need to jump. But they got rid of one of the very popular and strong rally behind offlaners, who also the aura would have provided that boost to Luna early on. And if they grouped up early, it would have been terrible. So that's a really, really good Beastmaster ban. The Bat Rider ban is kind of just to protect Spirit Breaker at this point, I would say.
I'd also like them to maybe ban out like a Night Stalker type hero, just because it's those heroes where it's so tanky in lane with the armor. When you pick Rubik and Spirit Breaker, if this is your offlane duo, then sure, Liquid can still pick a pretty strong safe lane combo to deal with it, but these two heroes won't really do much to a Night Stalker, and that does give them this ability to, again, play the lane, unlock Luna's farm.
They're taking their time in this banning phase. Surprising.
It's very important though for Liquid, because when you have these type of different openings where yours a bit more open and Tundra's are very solid, you need to make sure that you ban the correct hero, or at least what you like. They're not talking about this ban, most likely. They're talking about the picks later down the line to then cover the ban, right?
So this Tidehunter ban, good for the same reasons why the Beastmaster ban is good. They just don't want that strong offlaner that can hit this mid-game timing with this Luna Shadow Demon. So they've got the two most popular ones already.
I guess this is what we haven't mentioned at Liquid. They
And I guess
insanely
there's
love
Mars.
Rubik, right? Go again, sorry?
I was like, Mars is still in the
5
pool for
seconds
Tundra.
Yep,
remaining.
works perfectly fine. Of course, Rubik's going to have fun, but you can't be too afraid to pick heroes just because it's a Rubik.
Mhm.
Liquid
Normally
might also
when we
run at
see,
5, right? So
When we see Team Liquid, normally they do like having saves in their support. Is the Rubik
Dire
Steel
team
disruption enough of a save, or would you like to see something else? They are the team that has used Dazzle a couple times.
I'd love Liquid to just have not saves, but just an ability to jump their opponent right now. If they rely on Spiritbreaker being the only hero to catch the backline, i.e. Shadow Demon,
10 seconds
it's already
remaining.
counted. The SD skill set is to remove this jump.
Radiant
So they need
team pick.
additional ways to find the heroes to then, take that fight. And
Absolutely.
Tundra, they pick a Clockwork, right? Position 5 Clockwork most likely enables the Lunar in lane because, of course, melee 5 enables any range carry. And it also is disruptive for Spiritbreaker. You charge, you can hookshot again. Like, they have now fully removed Spiritbreaker, having a clean
10
game,
seconds
because the
remaining.
support duo of Tundra will both be able to deal with him if they're in position at the right time, not on,
5
maybe getting
seconds
surprised.
remaining.
And on top of that, it's just a hero to control these backline supports that Team Liquid love to play. Cluck is not necessarily the best versus Rubik, but he can be very annoying versus him. But Rubik historically just lifts him out of cogs. But you can still push back and just set up for kills. And I really would like for this Cluck to be 5, because I was thinking early on that Shadow Demon 4 would be really good here, because that early Ags will do a lot for Tundra. So I really hope this is a snaking Shadow Demon.
No, I agree. And I like the position 4 SD a lot, just because you get to play near the triangle to actually make the ancient stacks and to just create more gold on the map. When you're position 5 Shadow Demon, you're locked more into the lane, you're playing for your own pools, you're not really unlocking this gold from anywhere. So this is the most difficult part in the draft day for Liquid, just because they need to decide what they're doing with Rubik and Spiritbreaker, and then pick strong lanes with Tundra then countering. That's why second pick does look rather nice. And okay.
Also, they banned out the really good carries that would have benefited them here in PA, Dusa, and TB. All of these protect Luna and make it so that Shadow Demon disruption being stolen isn't that scary. So Team Liquid have played Enigma before. Zai had an incredible
10
game on it.
seconds
He was playing a
remaining.
more interesting style of Enigma with Orchid
Orchid,
first.
yep.
But once you think about it,
5
Orchid on Enigma
seconds
makes a
remaining.
lot of sense because it's so cheap. It's a great item right now, and Enigma really needs mana regen. So the build-up of Orchid is really useful for a hero like this. So I really enjoy seeing the item build for this hero.
Yeah.
That does mean that if you're putting Enigma for Zai, that Spiritbreaker will most likely be Mickey's hero, or would you like to see it as a 4 and then Dazzle Rubik 5?
I think now that it's countered, I would like to see this just be a support Spiritbreaker.
Okay.
I'd love to them honestly just see it like a
Dire
5
team
Spiritbreaker,
pick.
4 Rubik.
Queen
Yeah, kind of this shift, right? So it's offlane Enigma within a support duo of Rubik, Spiritbreaker, able to move around the map together. You pick a mid hero, like Quap, who can play a strong lane, connect with them as well, and then give Matu some skirmishing style carry as well to then run into the jungle.
10
Are you both
seconds
surprised
remaining.
that Razor is still in the pool? I feel like Razor was the flavor of the week.
5
He
seconds
has been,
remaining.
but Razor versus Shadow Demon isn't so good. You can just get purged and you kind of lose your ability to run in even when you buy that BKB. Also, Razor just isn't enough. We were talking about the issue Spiritbreaker is going to face being the first one to go in. And yes, now he does have a Queen of Pain, but it's still not enough. They're going to need a really strong fighting style carry on Liquid. Someone that can go in first.
And then we get to see,
Radiant
and also
team
in the position where the mid hero from Tundra. Ooh.
Spicy.
Yo, hold up. Aui's on the team. Aui's a big fan of POS 5 Visage.
I
Isn't that
think
what-
it's a
isn't that what they
+5
tried?
Visage. I
The
think it's
Visage
a-
Luna lane, the SD mid.
No, isn't... So,
You think so?
10
which team
seconds
tried
remaining.
Visage 5?
Tundra.
It is Tundra. It is Tundra. You never know.
Which team tried
5
Visage 5
seconds
last
remaining.
Monday?
I do believe it was OG.
Dire
Okay.
team
I can
back.
confirm that 9 has only played out of SD and Visage. He's only played Visage once, and he lost in a pub in the last,
33's Visage is top tier as well, though.
This is true.
I would prefer this just to
Dude,
be a
that's
30.
true. Yeah, of course. 33. Yeah.
I do want this to be a 33 here because while mid Shadow Demon does sound cool, I don't think it's particularly that good.
Dire team
Especially
back.
versus Queen of Pain, I would like something else for 9 here. But with Tundra, you really do never know. But now that they've got this Visage, that mid-game timing that we were talking about, they can hit it with this hero. They can just run down these buildings.
Is a product of the fact that your support duo in Liquid is Spiritbreaker Rubik. Like these heroes, they don't really pack much of a punch
10
early on.
seconds
They do need
remaining.
some levels. They need some entry to the game or the correct core to enable
5
their skill
seconds
set.
remaining.
And now you pick a hero like Visage, where you're gonna have that extra little bit of move speed from Q, your own
Radiant
damage
team
output,
pick.
the defensive nature of Clock SD. Like it's gonna be really hard for Rubik and Spiritbreaker to get into the fight to actually unlock that damage, right? So
Yeah, and also if you think about the aura items that typically counter Visage, none of Team Liquid's heroes build it. I think Enigma can, but he doesn't want to.
this is an offlane Visage. When you're
10
banning heroes like
seconds
Naga and
remaining.
PL, very much is gonna be offlane Visage here.
5 seconds
I like this
Pretty
pick.
cool.
Good one, AUI.
So what do we want to see from Matu, probably?
I think they need a very strong, fighty, go in first CK type hero for Liquid. It doesn't have to be CK, but you know what I mean. CK isn't great here, but
Monkey King.
Is Monkey?
Monkey King, that is fits the bill of like a carry that can just go in, be strong, and go in first. You need something to kind of jump in and lead the charge. Just because Spirit Breaker is countered for reasons you said, and you don't want your Queen of Pain going in first. And Enigma typically does lead pushes, but if he's sitting
10
around in team fights
seconds
waiting for a
remaining.
black hole, he's not going to be in there. So there's a lot on this Monkey King's
5
shoulders to
seconds
just
remaining.
start these fights.
Yeah, they also need to, I think, rally around the black holes correctly and cover themselves because Liquid will struggle after their initial skirmishes to walk around the map with confidence. Because if they jump a Visage, again, it's the SD the clock coming in to save the day. And you still have 9 with a last pick on mid lane. Your heroes like, Void Spirit still available, that'll be fine. Like any of these more elusive heroes, is Pangolier available?
Yep.
Just cut
Earth
through the heroes.
Spirit's still available?
And
I kind of want a way to deal with black hole though.
Okay.
Like Pangolier can deal with it because you just go Basher and then just swash the BKB black hole from a right distance.
so you have Clock also for
Yeah.
Black Hole, and Clock doesn't care about Enigma's BKB too.
Choose your
Hoodwink.
hero.
Okay.
Yeah, that's their mid hero for sure.
Do you think
Yep.
he has
Could lose that.
invested in the battle pass?
Yeah, he has. Yeah, he has. Look at him.
Oh, yeah. It's
There
a
we
pretty
go.
set. That's nice. I do like that.
So I quite like Hoodwink here, actually. It's just a nice long-range damage that you can pair up with a Clock and just kind of insta-kill a target early on in the game. There's not enough jump to be afraid of. Yes, Queen of Pain and Monkey King can go on this Hoodwink, but it's not like this Hoodwink is playing by itself. So it can be incredibly effective here. I think, depending on Matu's performance, that's going to kind of make it so that they can either fight early or not, because Enigma does need a little bit of time.
I want to see Mickey step up a little bit here as well. Clockwork and SD aren't going to be able to rotate on Quap that well, so it means that the 1v1 vacuum of Hoodwink and Quap can go pretty much Quap way. So if that goes well, the supports really can't help. Then he connects with Matu, game can go their way. But again, it's very much on how Liquid enters this game with confidence, because the eventual insurance policy of SD, Clock, and Luna will reign supreme in the defensive nature.
You can mischief dodge the annoying spell that Visage has in lane. I forgot the name of it.
Soul Assumption?
Soul Assumption.
Yeah.
I hate that spell. He can have an okay lane, but I really think Monkey King has a lot of potential to die in the early game too. So I'm a bit worried for.
Alright. Well, it looks like Team Liquid has the pressure on them to perform in this first game, as Tundra might have outmaneuvered them a little bit in the draft. Can they do the same thing in game? We're finding out together with our commentary team. It is Odie Pixel and Jenkins.
Thank you very much, Steve. Yes, Team Liquid up against Tundra, Jenkins, and a lot of fun stuff to look out for this series. A bit back and forth on the draft, some picks that sort of make you kind of wonder why. And we're going to seems incredibly smart and doing very well in the league so far.
Not even trying right
Who
now.
do you like the most? What are you looking forward to seeing out of this?
I like the Tundra draft. We have the Visage Luna. That's a classic combo.
Yeah.
As of TI-10.
It was, yeah, an old
As
classic.
of TI, but an old classic as well.
Well, yeah.
You got well, it used to be the Drow Visage that was kind of the same
Sure.
same idea.
Luna, when was that? That was
SD
big.
Luna, that's a classic.
That's been big for the age.
You have SD versus Spirit Breaker. You have Clockwork versus Enigma. They actually picked Enigma on the side of Liquid into Clockwork.
I like that. I mean, that's Zai saying he doesn't give a, he's like, I don't care. I'm gonna still output him. I mean, it's we can expect some wonderful things from him, hopefully, on his Enigma. But as you say, there's things to stop it.
There's things to stop it, but he's been going for the Orchid build. So maybe he thinks that just this sort of playstyle is not so dependent on hitting those big black holes.
Yes.
And also, finding the angle as Clockwork is a lot easier said than done. Like, you have to...
Yeah, normally it's not until like you get like a blink. I mean, you sometimes see that sometimes. People picking up the blink.
Yeah,
they
sure.
can get that angle.
Even then, though, it's like you have the thing to suck them in, the Aghanim Shard on Enigma, and then also there's heroes that are going to be in the black hole that are blocking it. You can put yourself in the middle of the hole, and that's going to make it even harder.
Yeah.
Although if you hook in, the hook, as soon as it hits you, does stun you, so... that it'll still cancel it, but it's not as easy as it looks. But it's good to have some sort of answer. And then the hoodwink on 9.
Yes,
I love the set.
I mean, you can tell that before the draft started, 9 was like,
he was getting
I'm playing Hoodwink today. I'm playing Hoodwink today.
Yeah.
And he's got it. He's got it. And of course, we've seen before. 9. He's a master of these sort of heroes. I mean, pretty much master. What other players would you sort of put up there as solid Hoodwink mids other than 9?
Well, Thompson.
Is that the only other one? But is it 9 and Thompson?
Can I think of anybody else that plays? I mean, I could name some
that have played it or
random NA players that have tried it, but nobody really to the degree of success that Thompson has with it.
Yes.
Or 9 on these sort of. It's funny.
Been great on it.
It's like these are like Thompson-esque heroes that 9 plays. It's like people say, you know, playing these non-traditional mids it doesn't work for a lot of people. It's quite hard. But 9 obviously does it exceptionally well.
Yeah. 30 seconds to battle.
And it works well this game. I mean, you know, of course, as we said, I'm sure he probably did just want to play it anyway. But is there anything in particular that makes the mid Hoodwink look pretty nice against, you know, what we have on the side of Liquid?
I think it does damage. It's a hero that can definitely run around on low cooldowns and play with the rest of the Tundra lineup while Luna is farming. I'm not entirely sure how it does against some SB charging you with Queen of Pain and lane. That does seem like something that you could possibly
you could be quick with like the tree or something, you know, catch him out when he's charged out. You've got to be very quick.
You can. It's not like, you know, Cold Snap on Invoker or Puck Phase Shift where you have these easy answers to the Spirit Breaker charge. But also, you definitely have kill threat on the Queen of Pain going the other way too. Not such great disable for her. But you have a lot of damage on the side of Tundra, so if they ever lock her down, she can die.
Yeah, we'll see. But 9 definitely have to be cautious at the start. I mean, we'll feel rather squishy against the burst and Mickey. Just a few levels are in play.
Queen of Pain's all going for the Scream first, something that you never really saw before, but with the lower mana cost on that ability, it just guarantees that you can push the first wave, get level 2. And then, you know, you have Dagger to work with at that point anyway, so effectively you're starting with Dagger with that build anyway.
Oh, so some of these side lanes, top lane, Foxy's going to be hanging around with Zai. Is SD Luna going to be totally fine up here? Is that Enigma, Spirit Breaker, will they be putting any pressure onto that Luna in the laning stage?
No, I don't think Luna's really going to get pressured, but possibly SD can die in this lane. If you get a charge into some, you know, Malefice, that's definitely a hero that can die. But of course, Fada's going to know that. And once they have some levels on the side of Liquid, I would imagine he plays a little bit safer. Oh, I love Fives doing this now. This is such a good answer to the creep cutting thing that people just didn't do before. Like anticipating the creep cut and then pulling the wave to the cut wave instead of using the camps. He's gonna die for it, apparently.
Oh, and waste to salve, unfortunately, for himself, and also end up giving the first blood over towards the core. Zai, he's the one to take it. Also be able to get some good hits onto Skeeter as Skeeter tries to get back over to the creep wave. So for the smooth moves they were trying to do around the creeps, it does end up hurting them a little bit there.
The last time that I saw that happen was actually Into the Breach. They did that, but they had an IO. So the IO, when they grabbed that second wave, they tethered to the creeps. And so they got to it a lot quicker, and so they weren't so out of position like we just saw there.
So bottom lane, farm for Matsu's been going very nicely so far. 11-5 against the 4-0. I mean, early levels in this matchup, is this expected that the Visage is going to not really have much of an impact against a melee farmer like the Monkey King?
No, to be honest, I would think that Visage would do quite well in this lane, actually, just because Soul Assumption is such a broken ability at level 1. It does like 300 damage. It's like the highest damage nuke in the game at level 1. And so I would think that Matsu, being like a trading hero, would just take a ton of damage in return, but they've, you know, between Mischief and the regen that they have down here, they seem to have sustained quite nicely.
I mean, that's true, actually. I guess if you go with the Mischief, you're going to be able to dodge every one of them.
It's true, but you know, Mischief is a 15-second cooldown and Soul Assumption is 4.
Yeah,
so it's really not. It's not the greatest answer. It's something, but it seems to be enough paired with the regen.
It's a lot of mana early on. But I guess, you know, 33 does have a Sage's Mask to make sure that he's able to keep some sort of constant ability to throw them out.
Yeah, I've seen 5 Visages go for 6 mangoes, and it actually looks pretty good. But if you're playing offlane Visage, it's just tons of Sage's Masks, maybe Basilius. I've seen the Mass Null Talisman build as well, just to have that mana regen to constantly spam out the Soul Assumption. Such a value spell. There's so much creep shenanigans going on in both lanes. Like, Fata's just trying to pull it back. It's like, please stop with the creeps. God damn it.
This is definitely going to be the big thing for them so far. The fact that Matsu's having such a great start down here. He's going to be hitting some good opening timings. The same to be said, of course, on the other half of the map for the Luna. You know, you see Skeeter farming just as well on the top lane. So nothing really being lost out too much there from him.
Yeah, the side lanes, the lanes are not going so well for Tundra on these more unconventional picks between the Visage and the Hoodwink, but I suppose the saving grace is their rotations out of the laning phase are definitely really strong. Like, if they can rotate with Visage Birds and Hoodwink level 6, with the Luna Aura, they could run around and take a lot of towers. So I suppose maybe their idea is the lanes don't matter as much with heroes like this, because you can just go 5-man.
And what do you expect sort of out of both teams' carries this game when you look at the Luna and the Monkey King? Is one of them going to be more passive than the other? You know, who's going to be more proactive? Or who needs to be more proactive as a carry this game?
I honestly think they're both going to be fairly proactive, just because the Luna has nice pairings with her aura. The Visage in particular will look really nice if she shows up to a tower. And we've been seeing that more and more with Luna, is that yes, she's this hero that can farm up extremely quickly, but because everybody's maxing the aura due to glaives being nerfed, she is actually 5-manning quite a bit. So I think there will be stacks on the side of Tundra. Yeah, especially because there's an SD2 stack, but they will also be 5-manning quite a bit.
See bottom lane, Matsu and Insane are able to pick up a kill on Snake King. As this bottom lane definitely continues to be the one with the biggest differences coming out. I mean, with 5 minutes in relatively early, it's 2-0, but it is a 2k lead already for Liquid. And yeah, the majority of that being in the hands of the bottom lane, and then mid in second, as Mickey does continue to have that slight dominance over Nine's Hoodwink.
I'm really impressed with Liquid's read on the fact that they just knew that a Rubik Monkey King lane, which is honestly a really weird lane, because
it is, because sometimes Rubik can, like, when it's like Rubik plus the carry in the safe lane, the Rubik can feel a bit weak.
It can feel weak, yeah, right. And it's like, that's the thing. There aren't even many players who even play Rubik as a 5 position. It's like basically just Insania these days. And so, but their read on it was like, okay, this is we're going to dumpster the lane with this against a Visage. It's clearly going to be a 33 Visage, and then we're going to leverage that to you know, get more out of the game, rather than just having some carry that will farm versus Visage. Let's own it. I mean, I just wouldn't think that this would own the lane so hard, but it is.
I'm going to see Nine turn up and try and help fight back. He's going to have the ult hit coming in. Boxy's looking to block it, though. Standing in the way, he'll tank the hit here to make sure that Matuma can get back to safety. Insania should also die here, trapped in the cockpit. In fact, Matt's going to jump back here because he's got the backup of Mickey. In with a Sonic Wave, hits onto the 3 of them. Blows up Snake King. 33 and Fodder both very, very low. They'll end up denying 33. So Mickey turning up to try and hit back, and we'll force 2 of them off the map on Tundra's side of things. Matsu gets out of there, but definitely Boxy with a big bro play there, blocking the ultimate.
Yeah, that was nice. That was nice. That could have been so much worse for Liquid if Matumba actually goes down there.
He would have died as well, because they had the disruption on Insania at the same time the ult was coming out, so the ult would have gone straight underneath Insania and hit Matumba, man.
Yeah, that would have been a great trade. Great job from both mid laners rotating in here. I think it's honestly the correct play from both sides. Nine gets the deny as well. So it kind of even.
Structures are fortified.
And I guess you would say that maybe favors Tundra a bit just because Skeeter is up top farming. And also, they killed the catapult, so they're not going to have to worry about that tower going down anytime soon. But then again, Zai's Enigma, and he's farming as well. So.
He is, and he's going for the build that you said. I mean, this is something what we're seeing from other Enigmas, or is this purely sort of a Zai Enigma thing?
I've seen other Enigmas do this recently, but I'm fairly certain that this is something that started with Zai. After that first series that Zai did, I think a lot of people experimented with the Orchid and then found that it was.
And why does it work? You know, why is it? What is it? Is this something that Zai will probably do most times he's playing Enigma?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. My take on it is that it gives you a way to play the game outside of just Black Hole, so you're not just completely hard countered by people playing around your long cooldown or stealing Black Hole, interrupting Black Hole. If you stun somebody with Malefice on top of the percentage damage of Midnight Pulse and the Eidolon's hitting, it's a lot of with an Orchid percentage damage, you pull to 0 almost anyone.
Fada. He's going to have 9 by his side. We'll come in with the ult hit onto Enigma. Rocket Flare as well, but it's not enough to take Zai down. 9. He's still hunting a little bit, but Zai will be salving up. Has got a Black Hole available if he's able to walk back in to help out Matumbaman as Matu is trapped in the Colts for now. Boxy charging over. They come over the Malefice hit onto Snaking. The backups there from Mickey. Jumps in, bursts down the clockwork. Liquid coming out on top here, and they may be able to find some more as Insania gets the lift up onto Skeeter. Drags him back into the dagger of Mickey, but the disruption from Fada will hold back the quad for now. Spike as well coming into play for 9. Jump forward though, Mickey. He's got the angle. Sonic Wave out of the 3 of them. Skeeter and 9 also burst slow off the back of Fada going down. 9 did manage to pick up Boxy in return, but Liquid with that fight pushing back Tundra, getting the space to finish off that tier 1 tower.
Yeah, they finished the tower. While this is happening, 33 is pushing the bot tower as well, though. So in terms of towers, it's actually a 1-for-1, but Liquid comes out with a bunch more kills, so of course that's going to naturally favor them. And the Tundra supports are kind of falling behind, and these are not exactly good supports to play from behind.
I mean, some of their cores as well, right? 33's still got a bit of time. He needs to pick up the pace a bit after what was a pretty slow laning phase against the duo of Liquid. And then Skeeter as well, we're seeing off the back of the money that's being picked up from those moves made by Liquid's cores. It's going to need a bit of time, but he has got a stack or 2 going here.
Yeah, it looks like the way that Tundra is going to try to give these heroes space is by just throwing 9 up into this top lane and pushing the wave. Unfortunately, against a Spirit Breaker, it's a little hard to do this, but, maybe he's actually just feeding a free kill. I don't know.
It's going to be hard to get the hit off with the ultimate, but goes for the quick fire. Not enough damage, though. Nice attempt there from 9 to get the combo off before Insania can do anything, but it doesn't quite build up enough damage.
That space, though, you can see the gold lead is swinging back towards the way of Tundra because they're farming on the Visage and they just farmed the stacks on Skeeter while that is happening. So that was a 3 heroes trying to deal with 9 there, and he just walks away totally fine. I mean, you would like to get the kill, obviously, but you're still cool with that because you're forcing rotations.
Yeah, no, and 33's, he's had this bottom half all to himself for quite some time, and Liquid not with any signs of going down here. So you would imagine if they can continue to hold it like this, 33 is going to be straight back up towards the top spots of the cores. If this sort of situation continues where Liquid, they're looking for action up top, Tundra, they're sort of holding them back and not losing anyone.
Yeah, 33 is really happy right now. I mean, you've got the amplification coming from the Luna this game, so if he has, remotely a good game, even if his CS doesn't look so good, and even if his net worth is a little bit below the others, he'll still be really strong in these team fights just because of the Luna aura on the birds.
Talking about strong Insania, the hook shot stolen, he's able to open things up onto the SD. Fada not even going to get a chance to disrupt himself. Mickey jumps in, finishes him off with the Scream of Pain.
Dude, Mickey's been popping off in like every single game that we've seen from Liquid. He's looking really good this season so far. I know he's super high rated too. He's like rank 10 or 6 or something like that, which he's always been decently high rated, but that's up there with the best of the best. So there's no surprise to me that he's just looking so good in these games.
Worthy tribute.
Maybe the meta really fits him, or he's just really feeling the game right now. I don't know.
Gonna see a smoke action from Tundra now. Fada ready to lead the way. Not bringing the whole squad. That is just him and 9. Mickey is going to jump into this. See if they can take him down, though, as he has got backup. BO3 just throws himself straight over towards them to take their attention away from the cause. Liquid still thinking about whether they can get in on this fight. Instead, he'll start things up with the telekinesis Sonic Wave, as they'll take the support trade.
I feel like poor BO3's running into every fight and just dying. That's all we're seeing.
Oh, snaking. They got enough control there. Nice quick back of the cogs into the drop down of the birds. They'll do it. They take out Mickey. Snaking also trying to stay on top of the target of Matsu. And bringing over Skeeter as well. Matsu, he's in trouble. The beam comes crashing down. A lovely little move into the mid lane there. Started by Snaking. Excellent execution as they leave no chance for Mickey to escape the lockdown.
Yep, and Skeeter's there too, so he's providing that 35 damage aura. He's not... Well, he wasn't hitting the tower because he's not necessary, but now that it looks free and they see that the enemy team is not there.
Yeah, these are nice moves from Tundra.
Yeah, these are really nice moves. I mean, you don't have the easiest lockdown for a hero like Queen of Pain right now, and yet they're just able to execute and to combo together. With the disruption, they didn't hit it because 9 was not quite there. But then finally they used the hook shot, and it's an equally scuffed way to catch Queen of Pain. But if it works, it works. Like, they have the damage to kill her. They don't necessarily have the lockdown. That's harder to hit, but they definitely have the damage, as we could see in the previous fight.
Of course, one thing that we weren't seeing there is we weren't seeing Zai's involvement. Unlike 33 on the Visage, who is ready to sort of sweep over, have impact. Zai wants to get that Blink Dagger done. And he's making good time on it. 1,200 gold on top of the Orchid. It will be there soon enough, but until that point, Liquid won't be fighting with their Enigma. Bottom lane, boxing. Himself pretty deep here. Will end up giving himself over to 9 as 9 picks up another top lane.
Yeah, Fada just kind of walked in and died there. He tried to get the disruption off on the side, but the Orchid longer range than that disruption, so he was able to get that Orchid off and then stun. Easy kill. Both sides just have supports that are kind of trying to push out the dead lane, and both sides are also punishing that.
Snaking, not wanting to give away another death hit as he's out with a hook shot. Zai's keeping the pressure in top. And Tundra, they know that they're posturing up here, Liquid, as they're ready to head over and start some action. They have the Eclipse ready. Well as the Purge from Fada. Instania on the front. Of course, hookshot from Snaking still on cooldown. They're fine for the opportunity to get in onto Zai. Sonic Wave comes out, but the hit's there from 9. As Zai falls, they also managed to get the deny on Snaking, so Tundra not giving over any sort of gold XP towards Liquid. Instania will try and hold his own with the stolen Eclipse, but they can keep a distance and take him out. As Tundra, they'll take 2. And only having some time with the clock on the side, but nothing given away thanks to the deny from Skeeter.
Yeah, great smoke from Tundra there. Catching Zai too, like they were very close to catching Insania. They ended up getting both.
Oh, look at this move here. He is, he's all over the place now. Moxie once more dying off on the bottom half of the map. The numbers are still very, very close, and as I say, we're still yet to see the fight where Zai has the finished Blink Dagger and comes in with a black hole. But you can't help but feel that Tundra probably feeling a bit more comfortable in this moment right now with some of the moves that they've made and moves that they've put to a stop that Liquid are trying.
Yeah, 100%, and they're very comfortable scaling into this game, especially because they have the Clockwork versus Enigma. So there's a lot of pressure on Zai as these other cores are kind of dying on the side of Liquid that, well, I say dying, but Mickey has only died once, but still, there's a lot of pressure on Zai to be the kind of true carry in this game. And so on the flip side, there's a lot of pressure on Snaking to make sure that that's not going to happen with this Blink Dagger. You want to prevent this timing from being something that's absolutely huge. And, you know, without a BKB, it's a lot easier. You're not relying entirely on that hook shot, but still, it's one of the better things at interrupting.
Yeah, no, this is going to be a solid timing from Zai. We'll see if they're able to hide it. They're already smoking up and heading up to join Zai on this top side. See if they get the fight with the Blink Dagger reveal from Zai.
So they're going for the bait play here, because you know that against Enigma, there's always going to be smokes into him, or plays into him.
Snaking. He's going to start with a bit of a poke onto Matumba Man. Now over from the side, Mickey jumps in, looks to burst down Fada. They kill off Matumba Man, they'll lose Fada for it, but Tundra, they're more than happy with that trade. They're going to try and chase for more. As Mickey out with the blink, Zai having to run, but they've got their eyes on him. He's been silenced, the hook shot not going to quite catch. Snaking controlling Insania off to the side, but Mickey's there to back Insania up. They'll kill off Snaking, but they will lose Zai up top. As 3 go down on Liquid, the last 2 will manage to TP out. But again, you know, Liquid, they get to this point. They've got the Blink Dagger. They try and make a play happening. But Tundra, it seems like they're just fully prepared each and every time.
Yeah, I think if you're Liquid and you're looking back at this fight, you think, like, it shouldn't be Matumba walking up that hill there because you're losing one of your biggest damage sources. I mean, you're losing.
And they didn't have any vision up there, did they?
No, that's the thing. Somebody has to run up there. I mean, I guess it has to be Boxy, but I feel like Boxy might just instantly die as well, and then they lose the fight. It's almost like they should have just taken another angle. Like, maybe that play, in retrospect, is something that just doesn't work because Boxy, since he's died so many times, is not strong enough to walk up that hill. So they don't have anybody that can walk up that hill.
Look at this here, Snaking. They're going to find Insania behind the tower. I mean, let's see what they can do. It's the silence. Zai tries to jump in to get something done, but immediately gets caught up by the silence. Skinner, he's just going to hit him with the BKB. Take out Zai. Boxy's also going down. I mean, it feels like it really is just very quickly falling apart for Liquid. You know, you could almost sense this was coming when the numbers weren't showing it. It was like 1K lead for Tundra, and now we're really seeing it in action. You know, Tundra, it just feels like they've turned up, and it's almost as if they've read beforehand exactly what Liquid wanted to do this game because they're showing it down.
Yeah, this is kind of what I was thinking. They were, you know, quote-unquote losing the lanes. At least 2 of their cores weren't farming so well. It felt like they had some plan for after the laning stage.
Oh, they did.
That they had accepted that that's how it's going to be. But you have this slow-paced hero on Monkey King to a degree. You have this slow-paced hero on Enigma. Sure, you can go for the Orchid to make it a little bit faster, but still, you're not going to outpace a Visage Luna lineup, especially with the Hoodwink mid, who's going travel, so he's everywhere.
And we're seeing sort of the struggle for Zai. You know, even with the Blink and the Orchid, if they've got the vision, and their vision game's pretty strong with the bird positioning and the rocket flares, 33, he's always sort of got that Orchid precast on Zai. So Zai, at this stage right now, he can't really ever blink in and have an impact because 33 is going to deal with it.
Yeah, he's almost always going to hit the Orchid. Oh, Insania has the ult.
Oh, he does. And Skeeter, he's so low. They're going to find some time of destruction because he has the Aegis, so he doesn't really mind dying the once, even if he does. I mean, he's ticking low to the dagger. He might not even fall one time here, as it's just going to be Boxy going down, and also Insania. They just lose 2 more heroes. They do get the Aegis, so it's something, but you can't ever feel that it's still not really what Liquid's looking for.
Bottom tower
yeah, you're hoping to get in, get out, maybe lose a single support to burn the Aegis.
But you lose 2 and you're going to lose the tower here as well.
You're going to lose the tower. Yeah, that's the problem, is that you do that right in front of your tier 2, you're going to lose the tier 2. I think I would wager that Insania is probably saying in comms, like, it's fine, we burn the Aegis, like, they don't have this insane timing. I would assume that Liquid's probably going to make a play when all of their heroes are alive to try to kill the Luna, maybe with the black hole because there's no Aegis.
Oh, look at this positioning for 33. He's just setting up. He knows that Zai wants to play like this around this tree line. Zai has got backup coming in, but it's not anywhere near close enough. The damage from 9 and 33 is too much. And it's just very impressive to see from 33 when you just consider the comparison of how the lanes went for Zai and 33, and now what 33 is able to achieve in comparison to what Zai is. You know, 33 is completely in Zai's head, and Zai just can't get the job done.
Yeah, no, 33 definitely is. He's looking like the MVP so far of this game, and I mean he's just been integral in these fights, and he's
nearly got his axe. Boxy, of course, dying somewhere yet again as 9, now godlike.
I think that was just a pure solo kill. This is the issue with whenever you give a Hoodwink this many levels, is that she can just like one-shot your heroes with her abilities. Like, you need levels in strength and HP items to deal with the raw amount of burst that she does. Let's see, what does her ult do right now? Does 1250 damage. Insania has 1140 HP. He can one-shot Insania with just one ability. So,
well, it's magic damage.
Yeah, I mean, still, if there's any sort of amplification, 1 extra attack, sure. He's got, does he have any spell amp? I don't know, you get what I'm saying.
Okay, close to one shot. it hurts. It really hurts. I mean,
it really hurts.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Oh, there we go. Axe done on 33. 22 minutes in.
He is huge. I swear to God, this guy was building his Tranquil boot just a moment ago. It's like, oh, thank God I have my Tranquils. This man has farmed 3 items.
I mean, historically, it's been the hero for 33, right? Ever since he started to first pop up as this player of note many years ago. His visage was something to behold. Mickey! They have found him. And for all the start that Mickey did have this game, sure, that's only his 2nd death, but his impact, it slowed down. It's almost as if the quap that we saw earlier just kind of disappeared from the game. It's just, it's not something that Tundra's scared about anymore.
Yeah, at this point, you would need a BKB, and he doesn't have it, I suppose, because some of those fights earlier didn't go so well, and so he's behind, and so if you're Liquid, you probably don't think that the Queen of Pain is the problem, but it does seem to me like 33 getting this drums into Orchid. If you're going Orchid Blink on Enigma, you are guaranteed going to have that silence before Enigma has his BKB.
Yes.
Right? So it's like, it's this big window where Zai just can't do anything, even though he is, at least he was, the most important hero on the Liquid lineup.
Look at it, 33. I don't think you can come up here anymore if you're Liquid. You just can't play in these trees. 33 always is going to know when to be hovering around and searching through it. I feel like that top lane could just never be pushed out again solo by any member of Liquid. 33 is going to kill you.
I can't believe he looks like that on the camera. I mean, I feel like he's popping off hard right now. He's like, he just doesn't care. I mean, he's played so many Visage games. This is just normal to him.
It's just part of the course for him.
But it's like, it's such a good performance, though. Yeah. He's making this map feel impossible to go out on.
I mean,
for Liquid.
You lose Zai, they lose Matter of that. What is the game plan now for Liquid? Like, what do you do about the fact that this top lane, what do you do?
Radiant's top tower.
It feels like very little.
And look at this bottom. Okay. Got him in the setup. They got enough damage, not quite. We'll be able to blink to safety. Into the trees he goes. Mickey will TP out. Sanya also able to make it away. It may just be Boxy going down here once more. But they will find him in the trees. Boxy tries to charge away, but there's no escape from 9, Fada and Snaking. It's beyond godlike 9. 11-0-10. Not a bad debut game here for Hoodwinker in their shiny new.
Oh, not bad. Not bad. I like the travels a lot.
This is so the best stat for the cosmetics. This is Hoodwinker's going to be given. You could play like 9.
I feel like he's getting a lot of levels because he's there for every kill. Maybe not this one. I think they're all wrong. I mean, he dies too quickly.
The last 10 minutes, it's been messy for Liquid, right? Like, but what's going on here?
We're like looking at it.
Tundra's just broken them, it seems.
I don't see what you can do, though, is the thing. Like, you need BKBs, but Tundra's not letting you farm them. That's just straight up what's happening right now. You needed to already have BKBs at this point. So until you get there, it's going to be rough. So now they have it. They still need one on Zai. They can maybe do a play with Mickey's BKB. But now you have Daedalus on 9.
They're just so farmed.
Yeah. Tundra?
There's Lincolns as well. I mean, 26 minutes in, this is insane.
Tundra's abuse of their timings in this game has just been essentially flawless. So it's like you get to this point, they have the BKBs on Liquid, which is what they're waiting for.
I mean, that's the only way they come back, right? A good BKB black hole.
But now there's so much physical damage on Tundra. I feel like you just die to a crit from 9.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see that. Let's see what Liquid can rally together here.
They need like a 3-man hole.
And they'll start things on the 33, but the back comes in. Snaking comes in with a hook shot. Sorry, wave on the 30, he's still outside, jumps in with the black hole. He's managed to catch a couple of them, but 9 still gets the ult hit off. It's not the fight that Liquid were looking for. As Boxy goes down, they will get 33, but Insana and Matu, they're in trouble because 9, he's still ready to poke. Maybe actually, it goes better. 9. Can they get him as well? Actually, this is going to be more. They can. He's going to have to push back in a second, but all right, they get the cleanup. It was the fight. What am I on about? This was as good as it could get for Liquid. They take down everybody on Tundra. A massive goal swing. Massive, yeah, a team wipe. They do it. Zai's in with the Black Hole. They have all the pieces. They pull them together. They're finally able to hit back at Tundra. That's been so dominant for the last 10 minutes.
Great Black Hole. Also, it did get interrupted, but it gave enough time and enough damage to finish off some heroes.
Yeah.
And then also, getting the Visage first, I think is very important.
Yeah, they were all in on 33. It's like the start, it looked like it was going to be hard because the save comes in, 33's able to survive. Zai gets the lockdown onto the two of them, but then still takes this huge hit for 9. Skeeter's in with the BKB, but the things they couldn't quite kill off Matu, and a lot of this fight was, of course, taking place in the Wukong's command, so Matu dishing out a whole lot of damage throughout this.
Yeah, I think the Monkey King ult, that fight was kind of cool from Liquid. The Monkey King ult
That should help.
did a lot of damage, but then on the outside of the Monkey King ult, basically Mickey was running around assassinating people. So it was like, you kind of wanted to run into it if you're Tundra because your team was in it. Because Mickey was like, I'm going to kill you if you come out here. But then you run into the Wukong's command, you're obviously going to die. So just a really well-executed fight from Liquid. That's without Zai's BKB. So now he has it.
Yeah, that was a beautiful shake-up into this game. That is Tundra were taking over. Liquid, they've shown them they've got the means to fight back.
And this is a team that we have seen do some really sick plays from behind and completely turn a game just on a pin. You know, so you do have to be careful against Liquid in particular because they're very capable of taking a timing and taking a game that looks like you're completely dominating and turning it around.
They love playing from this position.
You can't underestimate them. It felt like the snowball was completely on from Tundra, but this is Liquid. You just can't underestimate them.
Things will definitely back into snowball territory though if the Roshan goes into the hands of Tundra. Liquid, they'll definitely be around to have something to say about this. They're not going to want to let this one go. Ooh! Oh, he's thinking there.
It's a blink. Oh, all right.
Sliding past Matu onto the back lines. 33 starting to tease around with Liquid with the birds. And Insania was able to grab that hook shot from Snaking. So Liquid have got good ways to jump into the pit. And Tundra know that. They know with Liquid around, they can't really brute force the Roche. They've got to hold back. DD rune down bottom. It'd be very nice for whoever spots that one. 9. He'll have it. It's in the bottle, ready for the next fight.
Do it with flair.
Yeah, that's going to be important. I mean, if you can catch 9 and or 33 in a black hole,
they're the big ones.
These are the two big ones right now.
Like Matsu with the BKB, he can pretty much deal with the rest, but so the raw damage from those two, that's the huge threat. So I'd have to guess in saying even if they found one, Liquid's going to be off to a good start to the fight. They're the two big targets.
They will. They have, I mean, these are two fairly squishy heroes.
Okay, he's going to try and get the information. Pop the black hole down onto the winner, but the BKB was already out. Sonic Wave Burst comes in. Can they take out Skeeter through the BKB? They can. They bring down Skeeter over to the side, charge over to Fighter. They're taking him out as well. Fighter brought back for this one. 33 tries to finish on side with the Soul Assumption, but it isn't enough damage. 33's got to bail out. Going for the TP. He'll make it out just in time before the Balance Strike comes in, but it's 3 down on Tundra. Liquid again able to pull the fight off. As they get him with that lockdown, it's long enough to hold Skeeter through the BKB, and now it's Liquid that we move into Roche and take in this Aegis. And with this going to the hands, they'll be fully turning the game around. But Tundra, they don't want to let it slip away like that. They buy back here, ready to contest the Roche. They are still without Flutter and Snaking for 20, 40 seconds. No buyback on the two of them, and Liquid have the whole lineup up. We'll see how hesitant Liquid are going to be to head back into the pit against just the 3 of them.
Damn, they smoke up with no ults.
They know they've got the numbers advantage. Looking for 9. They start things up, Balance straight to the silence, so they have the burst in. Now they are. They bring 9 down. 9 has got buyback available. 33 trying to stand his ground against the 4th, but a lift up there. Telekinesis Incendiary again, stealing the Eclipse. As they have to step back, Tundra Snaky tries the hook shot, but Mickey and misses by a fraction of an inch as Mickey's able to TP out. Snaky will die for his effort to get back in on that. And Tundra, they're losing sort of around these fights. Liquid, they'll go back into the pit. With just the 3 of them up still on Tundra, chances of having anything to say about this Roche going to Liquid's hands are very low. There is a buyback available on 33, but he's probably not going to use it. They're just going to have to let this one go. And Liquid, they have absolutely taken back control of this game.
Yeah, the worst thing there for Tundra is they just fought back on 9, and they couldn't even get into the Roche pit after the buyback. So you now have the most important hero in the game, Tundra, if he dies in the next fight, which he's so squishy, we're seeing one of the big weaknesses of Hoodwink as a hero is that she just has such bad stats, but she's so important to pick off.
I mean, this was just a great read from Liquid, right? Yeah, we've got the 5 of us up. We don't need our ults. We're just going to run at the 3 of them. We can deal with Tundra.
And they also have a lot to peel off the Visage armor this game, and I like that they recognize that they can kill him with the Midnight Pulse, with the Monkey King hitting so quickly, also with the Wukong's command. 33 is not entirely immortal in this game, as a Visage would be in a lot of other games. As long as you actually focus him and don't just let him sit there in the back lines, constantly casting his soul assumptions.
Tundra starting to get back on the map, but they've got to be careful with the BK, well, the Aegis, of course, on the Timberman. Black Hole's back up in 10 seconds for Zai as well. And we've seen the last few times Zai has been able to definitely have a good hold for well, pretty much full duration, that last one on Skeeter in that fight around the mid. And Zai has been able to find those jumps that Liquid need him to.
Yeah, that was a really nice hole. Also, I like that his team is flying around the hole, like Mickey blinking in and blocking off that Clockwork hook, and then Clockwork actually hooks himself basically into the black hole. I think he might have walked in a bit afterwards, but he was so close that he's going to get pulled in anyway. But just the fact that his team is like, okay, sure, they have Clockwork who can interrupt the hole, but as long as we're blocking him, it's a positioning-based thing. Even with the Blink Dagger, if Mickey's just standing right on top of Zai, you're not going to be able to hook so easily through that.
And they've got to watch out for some of these steals. I mean, of course, it is insane here, but I mean, multiple times he's pretty much had hook shot or Eclipse. It feels like every single team fight. He's always getting one of these ultimates off them.
Yeah, and now he has items. We saw him steal Eclipse a few times when he had just brown boots. Now he's got a Yules, now he's got Ether Lens. So he can actually get in there, he can be alive, and he can get his spells off. Oh, Tumby's level 25. He's a big boy.
Yeah, the amount of XP they're picking up over those last few skirmishes was huge. And Matu just, you know, pretty much being the man to survive through it all. Going for the butterfly next.
You know, I'm also feeling on the flip side here with Tundra. It's like, you can't bank on the momentum either way. I feel like both of these teams are so good. And I mean,
this is you know, this is what you want to see.
This is what you want to see.
It's so close and it's so back and forth. We very well could likely see the game swing back
either way.
Tundra's lead. Yeah. This could absolutely be a back and forth game as it goes on.
Because Skitter is on Luna. He's got a Daedalus completed and about 100 gold here. So he's doing crazy amounts of damage. Sure. And so is Nine, who also has the Daedalus. This is one of those games where both teams don't have a crazy amount of defensiveness. They're just like full in damage and aggression. So whoever gets the better initiation is just gonna wipe the floor with the other team.
33 with that axe, ready to sneak around. Let's see. Over the mid. Charge coming in onto Snake King. Are they going to keep going for this one? They are, but he's out with the hook shot to the side. Turns with a quick Yules to stop Boxy's initiation.
Yeah, that was nice moves from Snake King. That was really nice.
33 sending the birds over. They've got eyes on the Timberman. Do they have the burst to take him out? It looks like they'll have a pretty good shot. He has still got the BKB and the Aegis, of course. 33 getting turned upon by Mickey. As the Aegis down the hands of the Timberman. Mickey jumping in with the BKB Sonic Wave. Only on Tafada, though. Turns over with the dagger towards 33. 33's be able to buy some time here with the Stone Form. The charge is coming over with Boxy. They've got the Wukong's command out as well. More than enough damage to bring down 33.
Dire structures are fortified.
See what they can do off the back of this Visage kill. They have got the bottom lane pushing in. So tier 1, tier 2 could very well be on the table. It's a long time, a full minute without the threat of 33 on the map. Full butterfly done as well on the Timberman.
Hey, that's a good item in this game. All 3 of the cores on Tundra are going to want to go in and, you know, poke him with damage that can be evaded. Oh, that was a mass TP.
Oh, they wanted to go for snaking there. See if they can still maybe try and do something about him. Boxy, not going to commit with the ult to knock him down. Doesn't feel that the rest of Liquid can close the gap in time. Still just pushing Tundra back to the base. Tundra still holding back until they have 33 back in the game. Boxy making good progress towards the BKB. I mean, very much he has been the man to charge in and happily give his life Once the BKB's there, there's a high chance that he's going to be able to reset a couple of times and go back in. And talking about resetting and going back in, refresher, it's done on Zai. So now that threat at the double black hole, it is going to be there. And we've already seen the sort of impact Zai has been able to have with just the one of them in these big game fights.
Yeah, Mickey also has a full refresher as well. So there's, with the BKB coming on Boxy, there's going to be a lot of disruption happening in these fights where Zai can hit those big black holes. But on the flip side, Tundra also has a very pokey style lineup where they have Luna with the Aghanim Shard who's going to be poking from far. They have Hoodwink. 9.
Oh, they found him. They found him and he's got no way to save himself, surely. There's a charge coming in to lock him down. 9. No escape. As he is out for a long, long time here. 2 minutes out of the game. No 9, no buyback. Liquid immediate upside, straight in BKB black hole, and it's a beauty here as it buys time for the rest of Liquid to come in, take out Snaking. 33, he'll buy himself a bit of time, a bit of protection, but he's surrounded. If they've got the detection, they do. Dust is out, they've got the TP cancel with the Malefice. Quick moves there from Liquid, immediately capitalizing off that Hoodwink kill and turning into something bigger there with Zai's jump.
Yeah, so 9, that's his buyback death. He's dead for 88 seconds. He does have buyback up in 36.
Okay.
It would feel pretty bad to use it.
Especially into a refresher black hole.
Yeah.
You know, Zai drops one more black hole onto 9, it's game over.
You could, yeah, it's over. But they might have to go for it and just try to focus Zai. Or I mean, I suppose you can tier 2 bot up, so you can stack 2 sets of racks here. Maybe 1.
Oh my god, they've got the lift onto Skeeter. Drag him in, defensive disruption comes out. 33 is going to commit with his buyback. But the tier 3, it'll still go down. Matu still sticking around. We'll have Snaking up in a second, but Familiar starting to take the hit, and 1 goes down. And Liquid not going to get pushed back from this, as they'll be able to clean out this mid set of racks. Tundra not able to stop. In fact, they're going to go for the kills here. Mickey jumps in, BKB's popped by Skeeter, but the big charge comes in from Boxy. Sonic Wave blown over towards Fardo as the Shadow Demon falls. Zai's heading in with the Malefice, the Midnight Pulse down to Snaking. That comes out from Fardo, Matthew holding his ground with the Blue Ghost Command. Boxy in with the charge, Snaking to fall. As Liquid, they'll not only get the racks, but they'll do some solid damage as well, getting in on the aggressive and forcing out 2 more buybacks from Tundra.
You love me.
I've never heard that line before. That's
one of the new ones from the Battle Pass, yeah.
That was an amazing play from Boxy there. I mean, it looked like a small thing to start, but he TP Fountain, and then he charges the Luna, which gives that huge night vision to his team for the initiation onto the Luna, which caused the Clockwork to eventually die, because obviously you're going to drop everything to save your carry. But just great call from Boxy to be like, yeah, I'm going to go Fountain. I'm going to give you guys vision for the next, like, 20 seconds on their carry. And then you have that extended night vision, too, which you gain when you charge with Spear Breaker. Sets up for the entire fight. And 9 didn't want to buy back. He had it. I'm sure he was considering, especially when 33 used his buyback.
So much money as well onto him, so they've got to be cautious about what they want to do. Is Skeeter is getting started upon. Defensive disruption comes in. Mickey's going to jump straight away to the backline. Skeeter, he's in trouble. Beyond comes out. He gets taken down. Tundra, they've got to try and disengage from this. If they catch anything else here, Liquid will kill it. Tundra, and keep a distance. Surely not wanting to poke back in on this now. I mean, well, they're smoked up. This will be without their carry. They're really going to try and go for something, or is this just an evasive smoke? Looks to be the latter as they hold away from the area they know Liquid's playing around.
And they're not really doing much with it. Okay, I suppose they're setting up to potentially steal the Roshan.
I mean, can they? It's a risk, but maybe they need to take those risks. They're down 19k.
They're taking the outpost, which means I feel like Skeeter's gonna buy back.
I mean, Matu, he's going on the aggressive. Straight in onto Snaking. Snaking turns the quick hook shot. 9 tries for the combo, but the destruction will stop it. Zai's in on the back again. BKB back on. Locks down 9. Locks down Fardo. The Sonic Wave will do it. There'll be 3 buybacks coming around for Tundra. Can they turn this fight around? They need to if they want to hold a chance in this game, and it's not going to be easy. 33, no TP available for him as he's slammed down by the Boundless. Skeeter caught by the ultimate of Boxy. Matu jumps into the spring straight on top of it. Then Tundra, they're looking to hold their ground, but they cannot do so. The physical damage from Matu may take too much to take down Skeeter through the BKB. It is over. GG is called. Liquid, they will turn around and take this game 1 from Tundra.
This is like the 3rd game in the European DPC that we've seen Liquid losing early by pretty hefty margin, and then they still turn the game around to where it looks like it was just a stomp the entire time. Yeah, it's like this looks like a team you can never count out.
Absolutely.
They're so good at playing around some timing and then taking that whatever lead that they get and leveraging that to just oppress for the rest of the game.
5 seconds remaining. Radiant team banned.
Yeah, okay, whatever, dude. I just woke up, not even trying right now, and I'm lagging.
No.
Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Okay, whatever, dude. I just woke up, not even trying right now, and I'm lagging.
Because they had priority, just took away the second pick from them.
And this is the second time they've banned Doom on Liquid. They really respect this 33 Doom that they've run a couple of times already, and yeah, I can see how that's annoying to play against too. It's interesting, maybe they've played against them in scrims more and lost to it a bit.
I can also kind of see that Liquid's playstyle of fighting a little bit more, Matuzai wanting to rotate a bit more. When you have heroes that can just be static and farm up, if they make that rotation, if they make that misplay, 33 will just build this like unbeatable advantage.
And similar to Enigma, actually, Doom is a very strong late game hero, because once you have those two Dooms, it's not as terrifying as two black holes, but it's very hard to play into.
Ooh, now we get to see how Liquid responds to the Spirit Breaker. Will they be going for the SD? Before
10 seconds
they didn't actually opt, I think it was the last time. It was against Secret. They picked a casual Mars. I think Moxie played it in the end.
Monkey King.
They got Monkey King, Hidoki, and Odie. Yeah, Odie's nice as well.
Okay, so just because this is a Monkey King, it's not relegated to carry the way it was last game. It can be flexed on any role they need it to be. It did really well for them, I would say. And just having these heroes that can play early aggression and fight into Tundra is very important. OD has probably become one of the more popular offlaners this DPC tour so far, which nobody would have expected going into this tournament.
Good old Media Hammer. That is a weird thing. When an item is only good on 3 heroes, you have to ask, is the item good or is it technically broken? I don't know.
Other than Meteor here, what other ones are there? Is that the Swift Link? Is one, right, for the Shadow Fiend?
Radiant team.
Wait, sorry, what?
Like you're saying, like if an item is only good on like one hero.
Oh, you mean like Shadow Fiend with Arcane Blink?
Arcane Blink, that's the one. He's the only one that builds that.
Yeah.
Just like Meteor Hammer is basically only built by the OD.
Yeah, it's a weird concept, I guess, when an item is only good on a few heroes. Maybe it's because people haven't explored it on other heroes. Yeah. I know some Pause 4s actually tried Meteor Hammer a little bit to help farm, and it really never stuck competitively.
I think Meteor Hammer always has its time in the sun. Sometimes a patch just hits where all offlaners are buying it. This happened in China.
The Spectre one as well, right? The carry Spectre patch. Oh, yeah.
This happened in China iLeague, where every Chinese offlaner was buying Meteor Hammer for a while, on Night Stalker, on Mars, on a lot of things. So it definitely comes in and out of meta, but it's never really stuck as an item that you can consistently see every patch. so that's definitely true. But Tundra again opened up with a Luna in their first phase.
I think the Luna is fine in the idea where it forces Liquid to think about where they're laning OD. Because if it's going to be OD offlane with some melee position 4, then you just need your support on Tundra to also have a stun. And this 6-7 minute timing of Meteor Hammer is completely removed. Because OD is strong when it's laning into heroes that can't stop the hammer channel. Luna with Lucent Beam, any support with a stun now, fully mitigates that kind of early game timing of OD. And I think that's why Tundra, with confidence, just pick a casual Luna. And OD hates playing into earlier teams that group up and run at your towers. Because again, your skill set is Astral into hammer one hero, into then Ags and defensive items. Like you need a lot of kind of farm and to take towers.
And also the nice thing about Luna is she can cancel out the hammer combo, right? Which is something just really nice to have throughout the game. And typically carries don't even have that means to save somebody from it. So Luna does provide that by way of them. But we can expect Tundra to go for another mid-game heavy lineup here.
Yeah.
Just like last game.
Opposed?
But this time around, they've got the Spirit Breaker, which really just seems like a very strong hero overall. He was captured by Shadow Demon last game. And honestly, after they started to lose team fights on Tundra, it didn't even feel like there was a Shadow Demon.
Oh, I just got excited because we picked Liquid and Oracle. Now Tundra bring like Night Stalker +1 out. Have insane vision from the fact that you can always see Monkey King in the trees, Oracle on the backline. You then pair it with any jumping style of mid hero, and it's like triple threat. Supports will be very scared to play this game on Liquid. They've also run it 5 before. Like this could easily be a core Spirit Breaker, a 5 Night Stalker with the carry Luna that they've done before, and you play that type of game.
And when we're talking about Tundra, any hero you see can be played anywhere. And with the exception of this Luna, it's all up in the air.
That's because of Fada, right? Like if you look at his pub games, he will look at what his cores are playing, and then he'll be like, yeah, I can try and play that. Like the other day, he was playing, Bloodseeker +5, and he'd join the game, and he's like, me 5, I play Bloodseeker, picks it straight away. Like he played Hoodwink 5 as well. So he really leans on his core players and kind of steals their hero pool a bit to enable this type of drafting.
So Hoodwink is picked up again by Tundra, but it's really still up in the air.
I'm not even trying right now, and
30, okay. The only hero we look at and we can say for sure outside of Luna, this is 33's hero, I think would be Visage. Obviously, you can still play it as support if you want to, but I don't necessarily feel like Tundra has that one Visage player. Right? But we didn't talk about this Oracle pick actually. Just the Purge is going to be very good versus Shadow Demon. All his skill set is going to be so. Fate's Edict is good to just click on him. It's good to click on Luna. You can purge off. You can just stop him in his tracks when he charges. The only issue is just dying on the backline as Oracle.
Yeah, and the instant Kunkka pick, it's kind of a showing of the damage from Tundra isn't that explosive. It's, of course, you have early game Hoodwink with the Sharpshooter, the Soul Assumption Visage, but then it's like this run buff with an Oracle, like these 2 defensive heroes with the OD Imprisonment. If this is a carry Monkey King that you expect, because of course Monkey King Oracle is a strong combo, Monkey King stands up front, you ultimate him from the Oracle, False Promise, and then yeah, he just stands his ground. And then yeah, it's an insane amount of defensive kind of characteristics to throw onto the Monkey King.
But it also shows how much they respected Visage's impact last game, because they didn't really have any answers for that hero when it was hitting its stride. And it feels like they kind of got run over by it a little until they won that one fight and just swung the net worth in their advantage. So Kunkka just provides a lot of answers to dealing with this hero, right? Not only is there splash damage, but like T said, the rum is going to be very, very useful.
And the flexibility from Liquid, like Monkey could be 4, could be carry, OD could be offlane or mid, Kun could be carry. They're keeping all the core slots open, and the only thing that we know about Liquid's lineup realistically is Oracle is the 5. And that's where Tundra right now, they need to kind of round out their draft a little bit. We'll assume that it's going to be, Spirit Breaker 4, Visage offlane, Hoodwink mid, or 5, that type of thing. But what they need, they do need a hero that can play with Spirit Breaker. Like when Spirit Breaker connects on someone and he gets banished or that hero gets Oracle ulted, you need that extra little bit of damage or jump to then punish it, Like if Oracle wastes his spell, then jump the OD, for example.
So you want them to still pick up a 9 hero despite Spirit Breaker and Hoodwink already being there?
No, I don't think, well, perhaps it could be open for anything, but I would like to see something more team fighty coming out of Tundra, to be honest, because it just feels like they need something to round out their draft in a way that they have this strong hero that can anchor the team fights in place.
Ooh,
but they
speaking
don't
of
have
anchors, Tidehunter, position 4 is making really like that, and there is still a Tide in the pool.
Yeah.
So they ban out Bane.
Oh, a beautiful segue.
So Liquid have it pegged as no. We see the core heroes of Tundra.
Yeah, because of the bans of Liquid, I still feel Tundra might... Oh, nice. Big Brood ban. This hero is coming back. It is annoying. You just go for Orchid and you just aggressively web across the map. So happy that Brood's been banned.
I like that it's on the radar of Tundra, yeah.
Oh, you know, if Quickfer plays a hero on his stream and he whispers to the ears of Liquid, yeah, play this hero, you know it might be coming through. Yeah, Liquid very much are respecting the potential just annoying enabling 5 to get Tundra over the earlier fights. Because that kind of is what Tundra needs to do, right? It's the same thing. Hoodwink will buy these bots, play on the Visage Birds, Luna will farm up, get a BKB, then they'll try and non-stop break down Liquid.
I like Earth Spirit here. I do. I know I'm saying this out of bias, but I'm not sure if they're gonna...
It's very disruptive, and Tundra does, like, they need that backline hero to make OD, Oracle, and Kunkka kind of waste their defensive spells.
But I'm looking at this Oracle too, and it's really a problem.
Dude, I just woke up. Not even trying
Yeah,
right
I don't
now,
mind that.
and I'm lagging.
Like, it's there's not a lot of reliable lockdown on Liquid in regards to, like, it's imprisoned into a hammer from OD, it's a root from Oracle, a stun from Monkey, and then Torrent from Kunkka, right? Like, there's not a lot.
So Queen of Pain does provide team fight, like we were talking about, and like a strong laning presence. But I'm still worried about this Tundra fighting into Liquid if they're not snowballing. How are they going to take these fights if they lose a couple of fights the same way they did last game?
Yeah, I think, again, it's like the numbers that they can provide. Tundra demonstrated in the previous game, when they get to this mid game and they walk through the map with Hoodwink and Visage, they are able to find heroes.
Now select your
So
heroes.
is Lena mid?
Most likely.
So when I see this for Tundra,
cool.
It just seems like another all-in, we're going to snowball the mid-game and play the way we did last game, and that's how we're going to win. So they can't put themselves in a position where they lose a couple of fights in a row. But fortunately for them, there is no strong Enigma-type hero that can make it so that fighting becomes more and more impossible as the game progresses.
Yeah, again, it's just one of those things where Liquid's lineup looks like it's going to be punished at some point after laning phase through some type of early rotation of Spirit Breaker Visage. They are going to be a little bit under pressure, but then it is the security of how unkillable they become. Like when they get to tier 3, if the game's that hard, Oracle, OD, Kunkka, these heroes will thrive at their own base. So I can already sense Liquid with the comeback in this game. Like, this is Tundra's game to try and be.
But it does mean that you're expecting Liquid as a comeback. It means that you're thinking Tundra is going to do well again in the mid game.
Oh, they should. They got the heroes for it.
And that's why they drafted it, right? Yeah. They're confident in their ability to win the way that they usually win, and they didn't adjust their draft in the sense that, oh no, we're going to have some kind of inherent team fighting mechanism to make sure we can fight from behind. They're like, no, we're going to snowball the way we did last game, and we're going to win this time. That's
all right, well, this time they don't have to worry about Enigma Black Hole, but I know the Team Liquid will still, of course, fight to the end to see if they can 2-0 this one rather than going to a third game. Personally, I wouldn't mind seeing game number 3, and I'm sure that goes for a commentary team as well. Isn't that right, OD Pixel and Jenkins?
Yes. I mean, I've had a great game 1. We'll see what happens in game 2. Always fun to see a bit of dominance, though. As you know, Liquid first game turnaround, they look pretty good doing it. Coming to this second game, we're seeing a return of quite a few heroes. Some in the different hands, some in the different teams. This time, of course, 9 on the Quap, rather than that being Mickey, and Mickey playing the Lena. But what do you make overall of this? And also just the fact that we are seeing another team, of course, bringing in that safe lane Kunkka, which we've seen become kind of hot right now. I love it. In Europe, we're getting a few teams running this.
I like it a lot. I feel like it carries a lot better than people previously thought that it did. It does a lot of damage. You can genuinely sit there and like right-click somebody to death. You do a good amount of damage. You're an early game hero. You're impossible to pressure. You're also a hero that can show up and team fight and take towers. I like any hero that wants to build into Helm of Iron Will Armlet right now.
Yeah, the fact that your safe lane is doing that, because sort of whatever safe lane heroes are good that you're buying the armlet on right now.
Wraith King.
Wraith King.
I think that's like,
Wraith
like
King,
half the reason that hero is viable. So
obviously Lifestealer, but Lifestealer is a hero not really quite as popular.
You could probably make it work just because of that.
Yeah, because armlet's that good.
It's probably a little bit underpicked. I like it a lot. I think that there's also an element of people don't know how to play against a safe lane Kunkka. It's really hard to say like what timings there are that you can abuse when he's weak, when he's strong, because it's just so different on mid. So all of your like built-in instincts and reads towards the hero are going to be naturally off. And that's something like at this level, you can play around if you're on the team that has the Kunkka.
Well, let's find out, ladies and gentlemen. The game getting underway here. Game 2 of Liquid versus Tundra. And on the Tundra side of things, do you like the shift here where they do move the Hoodwink into the support position and they get 9 back on his Queen of Pain? I mean, of course, the Hoodwink, whilst it didn't work out last game, still very much one of Nine's top heroes or favorite heroes to play. But Queen of Pain, just as much. We've seen 9 Quap carry plenty of game.
Yeah, it just feels like he had a lot of net worth in the last game. But Thomas is walking right up. All right. It's boxing. Yeah.
I mean, this worked out last game, right?
That was Matumba in the last game, walking up the hills.
That was. But yeah, this is good. Boxy says, if you're going to walk up hills as Monkey King, let me be the Monkey King.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, Boxy going down there.
30 seconds.
He went down a lot of times last game. It worked out. This is all part of the plan.
Yeah.
Boxy will throw his body at Tundra, and then Liquid will do things and win the game. This is all part of the Liquid road to victory.
Yep, somebody's got to do it. But with that being said, you're not too enthused to see the enemy mid get first blood.
This is true.
9 will basically have his bottle once he gets the bounty runes.
Yep, and he's on one of the best heroes to sort of guarantee those runes.
Yeah.
So it's, good luck mid, Mickey.
Speaking of that hero, he doesn't actually get it.
This was over when it started.
Now your mid's probably going to be... Your mid's going to be mad, right? If you feed first blood to the enemy mid, then you don't get the bounty rune. If this was a pub game, Dyer's mid would probably be saying some things.
The good news for Mickey, though, is
he's on a professional team, so,
That's good.
Yep.
That's not what I was going to... Great for, both of them. It's going well for them, obviously. He's Lena.
Yeah.
That's arguably the biggest lane-winning mid in the game. So he'll be fine.
And still, just as much against Quap, right? This is a matchup that Lena should be fine in.
Yep, definitely. But, that super early bottle, not great to play against. This is what I expected to happen in the previous game. It's just the Visage level 1 absolutely going to Pound Town with that Soul Assumption. It does so much damage at level 1. It's like the best damage for mana cost level 1 ability. Maybe like top 3, but it's up there.
What else sort of contests for highest damage level 1 spell?
Probably like a long duration spell. Edict used to be really good, but then they nerfed the early levels. I think it still is actually pretty good, even though it's been nerfed. It takes so long.
And Rocket Barrage nowadays on single target is still pretty bad level 1, right?
Yeah.
It's only got a couple
a lot of the damage over time level 1 abilities have actually been nerfed.
They have.
Lesh Stun is one of the best level 1 abilities in the game, I would say. Good damage, low mana cost, high stun duration, low cooldown.
Your admiral is on board.
But Soul Assumption is 100% up there.
We'll see. Bottom lane, Skeeter and Fada going for Zai. Stick charges will keep him good. He's going to have another elusive beam in a couple of seconds. But Zai, is he able to get into trees in time? He is. A couple of them, but they won't quite be able to find Zai. Boxy trying to go for Fada. We'll get caught out by the bushwhack. Top lane, another skirmish going out between the two teams as Matu is going to have to back off it. A couple of bashes.
Dude, I just woke up, not even trying.
I mean, that's Soul Assumption. I mean, yeah, there you go. Justified in the way you're talking it up there, as that nuke will be enough to finish off Matsumba, Matt.
Problem with this is it costs so much mana that, you get a kill like that, they come back to the lane, you've literally nothing.
Some respect there from Insania for Snake King getting a couple of bashes in a row there, as he gives him the old chat of well played. Well, there were some nice bashes.
I feel like Spearbreaker as a hero has just kind of started peaking recently because there's some glitch or error in the code that has caused him to be able to bash at a much higher percentage. Like, the amount of games I've seen RTZ get bashed 3 times in a row by Spearbreaker, fool me once, shame on you.
Death.
It's not 17%. That's a load of BS. You buy Dota Plus, it goes up to like at least 25.
Yeah, we need some sort of like research level study onto the RNG across plenty of different games to see if it actually is that 17. But he's going to be okay. And again, as we're seeing, Boxy, when he gets in like this and doesn't quite have the ability to finish with the kill, does tank quite a lot of damage back from the two of them down it.
Bit of wave cutting shenanigans up here. I like this a lot. It's smart when you have a Visage who's totally out of mana. Just cut waves, play the lane to 50-50 when you're trying to get resources. I like this lane a lot down here from Tundra. This is a cool lane.
It hits hard.
It hits really hard. Like the Lunar Blessing plus the Wink Acorn shot.
Come on, mid. We'll get taken out here there. So they'll go for the trade. Nine's going to be very happy with that, of course. You know, Snaking did die before Nine got the kill, so even more XP for Nine as he takes it up solo. He's pretty much going to have his 6. We'll see if he does take the Sonic Wave, and if he does, that XP advantage is going to be feeling pretty nice for him, hitting the 6 first.
Yeah, that that all goes back to the early level 1. It doesn't surprise me that that lane is in favor of 9. Maybe not in terms of CS, but of course, when you get the kill, it's going to be a net worth lead. One thing Queen of Pain does have on Lina is kill threat, especially with the charge.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the positioning of Spirit Breaker. He's going for the angle to try and get something done. Bottom lane, Skeeter. Is he going to go down? He is. Boxy able to dive in and get the kill. Meanwhile, of course, over on the mid, Snaking wrapped around from behind, comes in with the charge. 9 hits the 6 first. Sonic Wave at the ready. They can take Mickey down again. So now out for 20, and of course, because of the speed that they're able to bring him down a second time, won't have the ability to TP back to lane.
Yeah,
so that's really good use of the Spirit Breaker to completely force this lane in Nine's favor.
On a catapult wave too, which is the big deal here. This is going to be some pressure, and it means that probably Liquid will need to respond on, and he actually smokes from Fountain, which if you do this in pubs, you will get reported, but it's what you have to do.
It depends. I think it's sort of the average level, my level. People don't know what smokes are, so they won't even notice.
They're
not checking who's using the smokes.
It's a little too chaotic in pubs right now.
I mean, how much is the movement speed buff from it?
What, 10%?
15%.
15%.
So yeah, you're going to get a buff. It's definitely worth the cost, of course, if you're in a situation like Mickey.
Like that, yeah, for sure. So he gets back in time to defend the catapult. Tundra's not all that interested in making any sort of rotation to it.
Yeah.
Which tells me, once again, they're really confident in their timing at like, 10, 15 minutes, which this is essentially the same draft as the last one, except with arguably a better mid-hero. So we'll probably see the same thing again.
Trying to go for 33, but with 3 points to passive, it's very hard for those two to take him out, and counterplay comes in from 9. Straight off, looking towards the core, they want to take out Matumba Man. The bash is coming in as well, the Soul Subject. They need another bash. Oh, not going to get it. Only gets the chance to get one further hit, and it won't be enough.
Oh, that was close.
Sonia will be able to top Matumba Man back up a little bit.
That is some faith in his boy. I respect that. The TP to the tower, just knowing that Insania is going to be there with the magic resistance and with the heals. Because otherwise he dies to dagger, and then you have another situation where you have a core that cannot TP to a lane. We all know how that goes, just like that.
I mean, 9 and Snaking, they've really got it out for Mickey this game.
Yeah.
I mean, see Boxy and Snaking. Can Boxy stand toe-to-toe with him? He certainly can. Snaking's the one that's had enough of that. He's backing off. This is, it doesn't really get much rougher for sort of starts of games for a mid, right? You're able to farm, but it's going to seem like the world is against you, right? You didn't have that great start with the enemy mid getting the favorable bounty runes in the first blood. You now died 3 times in the mid lane because these ganks coming in. Mickey, he is the kind of guy who will be able to keep his cool, and he absolutely has to do so here because it's got to be frustrating.
I do think that Lina as a hero is, in this game, is a lot harder to play from behind because you have the Visage Birds, which are going to hunt you. You're a low armor hero. You have hoodwing spells being thrown from far. Spirit Breaker.
I've got TP coming in. Able to close in onto Zai. They will be able to. Insania, he's there ready to back him up. Holds back 9, but the pure damage comes out for the Sonic Wave. Boxy tries to go in to hold them off. Won't manage to do so as 9's game continues to look very, very nice. 6 kills, and he is on a roll. He's even thinking about going for more here as he steps up towards the triangle. They will be prepared with the burst. Light Strike and Lugano thrown out immediately, but the stick charges are there. 9's able to get out as the ultimate from Mickey, not enough burst to bring down that Queen of Pain as 9 walks out, and now the threat of the Laguna Blade is out of the game for a minute.
I feel like he probably should have died there with how aggressive that was.
It's just what I mean. He trusted in his power to step up to that high ground.
He did. Man, it's. I guess if Mickey had like one more level in the lane wasn't so tough for him, like maybe he does actually die there, or you know, if Oracle has one more level, maybe he dies. I know Insania, he did just have the Purifying Flames off cooldown, but I would assume he did the math on how much that would do to 9, and he knew that it was just going to heal him, so you don't want to use that unless you're getting that finishing blow. It's funny how close things can be in Dota, though. You know, you give a couple of kills in the laning phase, and all of a sudden you miss a kill by 10% HP.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been, of course, a huge kill as well. That would have been that streak of 9. Would have got very close to pretty much rectifying that complete, nearly 1k difference right now between the mids and gold.
6-0. He's huge, and Queen of Pain is the type of hero that can actually carry the game.
Nowadays, absolutely. With this sort of BKB Kaya Sanj build, you become this really solid frontliner. You know, you're no longer this hero that you get caught off the back of a misblink, you die. You know, you're able to go in as aggressively as you want to, which fits perfectly for someone like 9 and the playstyle that he likes to roll with.
Yeah, you're... Well, Meteor Hammer.
With the combo. Simply got the burst this time to take him out. Snake King comes in with the ult, but the Astral Sanity's there from Zai. Enough burst to take down 9. Now gets Snake King as well by the looks of it. Snake King tries to head over for a potential deny at the Roshan, but won't get there in time. Very well set up there by Liquid. There's the 4 heroes there. Way too many for Tundra to deal with. And of course, this the offering from Zai, meaning that they could blow up 9. Who got the gold there for finishing off 9 streak? It was Zai himself. So Zai's going to continue to be catapulted back up into the game after what was a bit of a slow lane. Out of all the cores, he did have the slower time in terms of farm. But as we're seeing there, once the Meteor Hammer's online, you're going to have good impact as the OD with the reveal.
Yeah, he's actually leaving his Astral Imprisonment at level 3 and opting for 3 points into Arcane Orb, which I suppose it does make sense because you're basically guaranteed the Meteor Hammer hit. You just Astral, wait a fraction of a second, and with like ping alone, you're going to basically frame perfect your Meteor Hammer if you do that. I mean, he'll probably level it up soon, but it's still cool to see that because it does make sense. I'm surprised he's got such a high mana pool here, just leaving Essence Flux only at level 1. But it has been buffed recently, so that... I thought maybe people would go like 2 points in it. Yeah. He's done the math. He's full mana, so it's working.
Matsu has got the armlet done over the phase, so...
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
He's a very tanky and hard-hitting boy in these fights. Of course, Skeeter just keeping himself focused away from the action, making sure that he at least has those first couple of core items before getting involved. The smoke up from Liquid. See where they're going to head. Haste Rune at the ready if they want to look to chase down. Mickey, he'll take it. Rolled up. Let's see if they can catch 9. Just blink over for the small camp. And 9 playing cautiously and aware. Oxy tries to get the setup with the Boundless, but 9's already too far back. They can't get a grab with the X mark.
Yeah, nice positioning from Snake King there, breaking that smoke. Basically forces that jump and, you know, scuffed stun to come out where they're looking to make some play, where if he just wasn't standing there, then that's a really obvious setup of like a Kunkka X into Torrent. Oxy's hunting though, 33. His bird positioning has been super on point in both of these games.
Yeah, he's always checking the trees.
And he is not going for the drums this game. He's opting to go straight for the Orchid, which
I think maybe makes sense. He went for the drums sort of after a bit of a slower start in the lane right. This time he had a much better start in the lane matchup.
Yeah, it seems like he identified that like his game was going poorly, so he needed a quick influx of value from his gold. So he gets the drum, it puts him back in the game, and then all of a sudden he can go back for the Orchid because he's strong. But in this game, he's just like, yeah, I'll go straight for the Orchid. I'm having a fine game. He's just been farmed up top lane. Farming on both sides. We're kind of just chilling here.
Yeah, Mikkei's closing up on the farm of 9 very nicely with this passiveness. As he'll have that BKB after the bots. His next time will hit that very strong timing.
Under attack.
Of course, on the side of 9, it was the kite into the BKB. So he's going for Orchid now done on 33, and Skeeter may be ready to set up for an attempt to push onto the tier 1 top.
Risky, but
a hard thing to push into, of course, with the Kunkka around.
Yep.
If Matu does want to stick around for this, but we'll see, because Tundra's push is hard. That TP's coming in onto the mid lane. They're going to try and set him onto Mikkei with the charge. Insania is by his side, though, with the false promise at the ready. It's a hard kill to go for, and they'll hold back from this. Zai, attempt to set up from the side. Pushback not in time to stop the hammer from coming down. Skeeter will try and run, but the Sanities comes down from Zai. They've taken out the 2 of them. Boxy just got the Wukong to the ready, and Tundra do try and fight on. Pop the Wukongs down. 9 pushing back, and Insania with Sonic Wave. Jump over to Mikkei. They bring out the leader. Can they get anything more than 9? Taken down by the boundless strike and clicks of Matu and Boxy. They've lost 3 here on Tundra. Soon to be more. They've got the control for 33. X-Mark from Matu drags him back in. 4 dead on Tundra. As Liquid fighting very fit there, as Zai once more setting things up with a quick no hesitation kill as he drops the ultimate to delete a hero.
Yeah, his positioning has just been amazing for this entire game. Like, his net worth is not the greatest. He's the lowest core on his team, but it's, well, number one, he's OD, doesn't farm particularly fast, but also he's just been running around and setting up every single kill for Liquid.
Snaking. They step back up. They do have the respawns coming into play from Tundra, so Liquid, to bear that in mind, the full 5-man of Tundra back in action.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Matu will also head back now, choosing to fight near the tier 1. Let's just put the pressure on elsewhere. Bottom lane also looking pretty appealing as Mikkei's getting space. Halfway in on the recipe nearly for the BKB. They can get a tower as such. Liquid are going to have those solid BKB timings.
Pretty interesting little map move there from Liquid where they run mid, they get this really good fight mid tower's low, but they don't commit to it because they know that Tundra, they're going to prep to be around the mid area. Snaking is dead.
He was hovering around behind the tower in the trees.
And the reason that Snake King dies there is because nobody can come help him, because they were prepping to defend the mid tower, because that's what it looked like Liquid was going to go pressure, but they just rotate to bot instead.
Set up in the mid. Quick catch on to Fada. Liquid starting to get this momentum going here.
Top tower is under attack.
As this time,
now mid is free. They've got a bunch of kills.
They're just running across the map here. They know that it's very hard for Tundra to get together any sort of fight back right now, whilst they focus on finishing these early items, finishing that BKB from 9, which is still a bit of gold away. It's going to take a bit of time until they get their BKBs online on Tundra.
These are just really smart map moves. Boxy a little bit out of position.
Under attack.
He's more than likely going to die here. Yeah. He's the guy that's like hunting on trees and looking to make things happen, so, you know, you're going to die occasionally doing that. Because I don't think he wants to clear the mid lane. That's Matumba's job.
Yeah, he's cutting the creep way as well here, Matu. And Tundra not able to do much about him making that sort of move. Bottom lane, the 4 of Liquid gearing up for this tier 2 tower push, and in fact, wrapping around behind the tower, seeing if they can get a setup onto Fada. Matu unable to find the X though, with a quick dodge into the tree line and a bushwhack. Fada makes it away.
This is where normally, if you're Tundra, you would go Roche, but because this mid tower is available, you know that it's just too risky, because all of Liquid can TP in, so they try to take it first. They end up getting it, but now because of that, they, well, actually, that's not the question lost.
Well, Boxy trying for the D-Ward. That's guaranteed death for that attempt.
Dire's top
Tundra
tower
still
is
very
under
much
attack.
around in the area. They kill him off for that.
Yeah, they're not letting Boxy like venture into their area. He's trying to do these sneaky plays where he's like, you know, dewarding so he can jump across trees and jumping across trees so he can set up for his team to come in and get kills. But Tundra is just not having it. They're just standing on
Radiant's
high
middle
grounds,
tower
putting
is
wards on
under
high
attack.
grounds, preventing him from doing that, which
Dire's top tower
is what they need
is
to do
under
if they want to
attack.
keep their Luna farming.
Oh, Liquid. They have the ultimates good to go. We've seen last time. Zai, if he's able to find setup, he'll take out a hero pretty much on his own. He's not with them right now, though. It is just Mickey, Matu, and Insania. Trying to see what they can catch out up top. But Nine's playing careful, snaking with the old Shadow Amulet play.
And Mickey's got his BKB, Matumba's got his BKB. This is a big timing for Liquid right now. Double BKB.
And they've smoked their spells, but they're going to see him. Sentry down, they're found snaking. I mean, it's a nice attempt trying to hide in the shadows, but of course suspicions were raised when that smoke dispelled.
Insania's just like, that's not a ward. What the hell?
Amid. Playing very quick here, Liquid. They get a grab straight over, they clean up 33. Maybe even the birds as well here. See if they can get that bonus gold. They certainly can. 4 gold into the bank of Liquid. They hold on to their lead. BKB is now done on Skeeter, though. BKB on Skeeter, BKB on 9. They have the ability to fight back now, Tundra.
Yeah, he disassembled his D-Lance in order to get the BKB, which shows to me that they're confident, that Liquid is confident in their double BKB timing, that Liquid is going to pressure, which you can see they're just walking into Roche.
It's a quick road. They're going straight for it, though, Tundra. Do they make it in time? Insania. He's going to get taken down. Foxy trying to hold them back from the attempt to move towards Roche. So the buyback come out from Insania. Sanity's dropped, not enough to get any kills this time, though. Roshan's still low. Can they interrupt this in time? They're sending the birds in. Roche so low right now, but in Liquid, they still get it. They kill the Roche, get the Aegis on the Mickey. Mickey gets burst by the Sonic Wave. We move back for a second round. 9 getting aggressive with the BKB. See if they can isolate Mickey a second time. They can. The birds drop down. Mickey left behind in the pit as the rest of Liquid bail out of that.
Wow, that was an interesting fight. I mean, first off, amazing positioning from Insania, breaking the smoke there, knowing that he has buyback and that he's going to come in. That's just a really cool, high-skill call.
Dire are scanning.
But then it does end up being a bit of a bait for his team because he's like, I have buyback. It takes him a while to get back to the fight. So, like, I like this call conceptually. It's cool. But then his team goes in and fights, and it takes him so long to TP and get there that in the downtime, Mickey takes a bunch of damage from Roshan. It takes a long time to kill Roche. Sure, he's there. Mickey pops the BKB just so he can finish the Roche, and then when he comes back alive, he doesn't have a BKB. And the fight's so separated that Insania can't get in there and save him. What would even be the point?
Yeah, I mean, you see,
already.
the way that 9 jumps in with that BKB, it just stops there being any chance of Liquid fighting back around Mickey's second life.
Yeah. They split the fight really nicely on the side of Tundra.
A charge heading the way of Zai.
Dire's
It's
top
unlikely
tower
to
is under
continue.
attack.
Yeah, Mickey even trying to put a stop to it with the light strike array.
Step lively
Liquid.
now. Your admiral is on board.
They might have the Aegis, did of course still get the kill. They still hold on to the lead, but only slightly. Again, another close one so far. 22 minutes in, just a 1k lead for Liquid. Tundra setting up, ready for some sort of tier 2 defense here if Liquid try and push it potentially.
They see him in there. They know he's there. Playing towards the high ground, yeah. They're being really safe about taking all of these towers. Like, they really don't want to commit to Tundra's lineup.
Okay. He's not going to hit the light strike array, and the pushback has come back out onto him. Astrolabe of the boat comes down onto the 2 of them. Unfortunate shot there from Fada as it knocks him back into the range of the boat.
I like that a lot. I love that they go for the wrap play instead of just like sieging. They know that they don't have the greatest amount of tower damage. Probably their best hero is like OD with the Meteor Hammer or Lina with right clicks to take towers, so they just go for 9.
He's got the blink up in a second. Tries to put the BKB. He's concerned about the further catch from Matu and an X-Mark. Stania and Boxy, they're looking to try and get 9 after BKB comes to an end. Another jump. Can Boxy close the gap? No, he can't by the looks of it. 9. He should be fine.
Radiant are scanning.
There's Liquid. They will keep searching. 9's already well out of it. Snaking has been left behind, and they've got the means to stop the charge, attempt to escape. They have the detection though. He's playing around with the Shadow Amulet. Being a little annoying as Tundra's now going to have time to get in with the TPs. Liquid not able to get the kill in time.
I love these Yule Scepters against Spearbreaker. It really nullifies a huge amount of the hero's impact by taking off the bulldoze, and it's also something that can interrupt the charge if he's going on you or if he's trying to charge out. So it gives you a bunch of play options versus all of the things that he wants to do in a game, and it just makes so much sense. Yule's is good against pretty much every carry hero too, because status resistance does nothing against it. Also, you can Yule somebody when they Satanic, so I like that this item's getting purchased a lot more, even on wackier heroes like Monkey King.
I mean, for Tundra, what is sort of the game plan now at this stage? Is Tundra, they've not quite been able to get that sort of lead or drive that they'd maybe have hoped for when they run like this Visage Luna. Is their lineup something that can scale pretty nice against Liquid, or are things going to only get trickier?
You know, if this was like 2 or 3 months ago, I would say yes, the Luna lineup will almost always outscale. But on Liquid, you have OD, which, you know, traditionally is like a more carry type mid. You have Lina, which we've seen at, you know, TI and Animajor, like this hero can build into Daedalus, Silver Edge, and be a right-clicking carry. And then Kunkka, which we're seeing in this DPC, function as a genuinely strong late game carry. Maybe less so on the damage side, more so on the tankiness side. I actually think Liquid's lineup is better in the late game. The pressure is on Tundra to make something happen.
And they're coming out with these smokes. Liquid, they're showing bottom. Well aware and well away from any sort of play that Tundra can try for. Tier 2's taken, they'll start to take over control. Tier 2's top still got a fair bit of HP. I mean, Liquid swinging over to the mid with the creeps. Do you think they'll just let this go? Gonna get back for a defense?
Yeah, it looks like they're just gonna let it go. It's just sometimes enemy team shows up to your tower and they just surround it so quickly that if you were to stagger your TPs in to defend it, even though you probably could, it's just such a risk, because if that first person dies before everybody else gets there, all of a sudden it's a 4v5, you lose the fight, you possibly lose the game, or at least your momentum in the game. So one of those scenarios. That's why oftentimes when teams smoke, they'll smoke to an objective, so that way even if they don't kill somebody in that smoke, they get the objective because they just surround it so quickly that there's no response to defend it. So yeah, great for Tundra, you know, taking the outpost, taking a trade for a tier 2, that's absolutely something that they're comfortable with at this point. It feels like the momentum's not exactly in their favor, so they're happy.
Step lively now. Your admiral is on board.
God, they're giving it a lot of respect here to Liquid. Not stepping anywhere close. Trying to stay back, and Skeeter has to be cautious. I mean, if they get any sort of opening, not really much on the side of Tundra that can be used to save someone. Chains done through the BKBs would be rather a nuisance. We see 33. I mean, I don't know. Is he going to go for that, or is he sort of just memeing around?
You know,
I mean, levels are good on this hero, but it's always like, yeah, are you really going to buy Midas at like 28 minutes in? It's rather late.
It's a little late, but they have chain stun for him. He's dead.
See if they can get more from this. Matu, he's going to look to try and fight back, despite the fact his mid's gone down. Wukong's set up for the tree, they get the Tiebreaker hit, and that's the Spirit Breaker down. Matu with the BKB charging up towards 9, but 9, of course, with his own BKB, they've got nothing to catch him through it. Boxy looking for a quick escape over the tree line, and with the TP away, he'll make it.
For takeaway.
1 for 1.
You know, with how badly that started for Liquid, you're kind of okay that you just lost Mickey there. I mean, you don't want to lose your arguably strongest hero at this point. That's not so good. But getting a trade,
Oh goodness, look at these hits.
All right, maybe more than a trade.
Matu just slices 33 to pieces. Just hacks him down here with his big old sword. And now he's looking for his birds as well. No, not the kids. Oh my god. Matu picking up the gold.
10 familiars.
Are scanning.
Well, it's starting to add up. Most been taken out by Matu. Tundra's still poking around, which is not an easy thing to do when Liquid's as solid as they are here with the 5 of them up. Zai, he's looking for Skeeter. Skeeter goes for the BKB TP. Nothing to stop it, so he gets away.
Radiant's top tower is under
Still just having to scramble their way out, though.
Dire's middle
And it is
tower
around
is
a
under
time.
attack.
Roshan is going to be still 2
Radiant's
minutes on the
top
wait
tower
time
has
here.
fallen.
That's a lot of golden flux going the way of Liquid in a very quick amount of time. They get a couple of D wards, they get a couple of kills, they get a couple of bird kills. It's like easy 2,000 gold right there. All the while, Tundra was just kind of running away. Yeah, Boxy picked up this gem. Was that Insania that bought that? I would imagine so. No, it's his own gem. Okay, he wants that D ward gold.
Tower is under attack.
On him. 9 being forced to BKB. Of course, the duration is less of a thing of note nowadays, but just the cooldown, right? This is like a minute where 9 hasn't got the BKB ready to use. Tundra pretty much just can't fight at all.
Yeah.
Your admiral is on board.
He will eventually pick up that refresher, and then all of a sudden, the BKB is such an insanely good item now.
Dire's
It's like
courier has been
it feels
killed.
weird saying it because BKB's always been like the best item in Dota, but it's even better.
Liquid.
Get a bit caught up there?
They are getting catch up to catch here. As Sparta.
Right? That's genuine fur.
You're right though. No, they 100% wanted to abuse the fact that they know Tundra's not going to want to fight there.
They just go straight onto their into their triangle.
Yep.
They know. Yeah.
They're just scanning. Like they're just going across, looking for anything.
9. If they get the catch on him, 20 seconds until this BKB's up. Matu, he's got the setup. And he's done okay. He hasn't quite got a smooth combo. Sonic Wave has stopped the TP backup coming in. Zai has done 5 seconds until the BKB. 9, 2 seconds. I think he's going to be fine. He's going to have the BKB. Oh, no, he didn't get it in time. He does now. He's out the side. TP in 2 seconds. Zai's looking for him. He can blink once more and TP. He's probably going to make it out. Blink to the side, but oh, it's not the place to blink to. It ain't the place to blink to at all. Matu was there waiting. 9 goes down over towards the mid. Quick charge in for snaking. They'll turn with the combo on the Skeeter. Skeeter, his own BKB also on cooldown, so he's not got a chance. Both cores down. 33 having a TP out of there. Snaking will be able to charge away. But rough times there for Tundra, losing 9 up top and then
Radiant's
subsequently
top tower
losing
is under
Skeeter in the
attack.
mid lane.
To me, all of this is set up by the gem purchase on Boxy.
I'm talking about setup. Zai.
That was hot. That was hot.
He's got this, Matu. He's eyeing up the Tidebringer here.
Radiant's
He's
top
got him.
tower is under attack.
Because he has the gem on Boxy and he's just jumping around and scouting all of these high grounds, and because Liquid are scanning back and forth in this
Radiant's
game,
top tower
Tundra
is
has
lost.
no vision on the map whatsoever. And so they're trying to get out, but they don't know when they're scouted, they don't know when they're safe, they can't group up because there's no vision to group around. So the gem is allowing for this like really split map play, and the fact that Boxy is Monkey King with the gem means that he can actually de-ward all of these high grounds, and he can be the hero that's setting up for his team.
Yeah, he's doing a lot for him.
It's just a smart pickup on Monkey King, and I'm honestly shocked to not have seen this so much before, even though Monkey King 4 has been a huge thing.
Yeah, we're just more focused on just taking over complete map vision control rather than necessarily going for the kills.
Yeah, exactly.
Getting the information and restricting the information.
Because Monkey King is very unlikely. If you're sitting in the trees and you're playing this sort of style where you're just setting up, you're sitting in the trees, pressing things from the trees, you're very unlikely to die. The gem's a value purchase.
Okay.
There's no vision. Like, they can't get out.
It's very scary.
They're farming mud golem camps, getting kicked off.
He's got BKB, so 9 will be fine. I mean, he's got to be a little careful. Sticking around there underneath the bashes and such. Not playing. Get the drag back. Skeeter, he didn't pop the BKB there to stop him from getting pulled back by the X mark. Maybe expecting that he'd be able to do so after the combo. Wasn't the case. Completely stunned and out for a minute. Skeeter's gone.
Dire structures are fortified. Radiant's
Liquid,
top tower.
they're up to the high ground here. We'll see if they let this one go, if they're going to come out with the buybacks. The buyback from Snaking. And Snaking straight out onto Insania. Birds coming in as well. Astral with the shard. Insania able to sneak away from that setup the Tundra were looking for. Top lane, damage has been done whilst that focus was there around mid. They get the racks. And yeah, Tundra getting caught out a lot here. And the BKBs that Nine and Skeeter got, just not quite having that impact that you'd expect with them. They're having a few moments where Liquid, they're just playing around the BKBs perfectly, and in some situations, Tundra, they're just not getting off the BKBs at all. Zai, aggressive setup here, up to the high ground, up to 33 and to 9. Torrent and the Laguna, they've been able to blow 33 up. 33's out for 50. Liquid now continue the push on here. Skeeter's back in action. He's going to TP quite aggressively here on the front lines. Boxy's got the eyes on him. Your setup as well. Boxy starting up the action. Skeeter this time will pop the BKB, but the tier 3's gone. Charge across from the side. Snaking trying to start things on and make it, but a false promise there from Insania. They won't be able to finish up the Lina. And of course, he's still got the Aegis, Mickey. So not really any risk whatsoever. Liquid now 17k ahead. We saw Liquid, of course, turn around the first game. This time it's going to be on Tundra to see if they can pull off some sort of miraculous comeback. But the way that things are going, it just doesn't look likely.
I feel like somebody has been dead on Tundra for the last 10 minutes, at least. Like, somebody's always dead, and then Liquid is getting another pick off while that person's dead.
That's Mickey. Look at the kill. He's going to be able to get it. Damage too high here from Mickey. As Varda also taken down. Nine tries to enter the fight, but the BKBs are up for Manta and Mickey. Mickey just right-clicking them to pieces. Nine turns for the BKB. He's looking for the Timberman. Hasn't got enough burst. Insania's able to keep him safe. Nine bleeds back. There'll be a buyback from Skeeter, but there's 3 dead on Tundra, and those 3, they have no way to enter back into the game. So Liquid, they'll take the mid-racks. Nine will jump in, looking for Mickey, but again, they're ready to turn back towards him. Put the Steven's guard, but the right clicks is too much for Nine. Nine will blitz to the side, but actually lives. He will live. They're taking away the Aegis. Nine has to go and reset in the fountain. Can he get back out and catch anything else from Liquid? It doesn't look like it. Liquid, they're backing off. The damage has been done. They've furthered their lead, and Tundra continuing to struggle to have anything to say about it.
How did Matamba not die in that fight? I feel like he was 10% HP toggling with Armlet multiple times. Just some auto attack flying at him.
Now he really loaded up on that roam. He was having a great time.
He was. He was playing like he had Aegis. But I mean, masterful Kunkka performance with the Armlet. Clearly he's been practicing. It really seemed like Tundra just, like, they just kept putting damage and damage and damage into him, and it's still like he was just Armlet toggling all of it. Just, it's such a waste of spells if you can do that, especially on a hero like Kunkka where you have the run buff.
Yeah, I really feel we're going to see more and more teams running the safe lane Kunkka. It just feels nice, and I feel like it's one that the carry's going to be happy to play, right? It's just a fun hero.
It's a fun hero, yeah, it's a good one.
It's under attack.
Tundra, everybody's up. But what can they do? They're losing their final set of racks here very, very quickly. 33's in the beginning. They're trying to go over towards Mickey. 9 with the Sonic Wave focuses Zai, but the BKB is out. Zai is getting back, but the save's there from Insania. False promise over to Zai. Skeeter goes down. He's out for 100 seconds. And with 33 falling as well, this game shortly coming to an end. A Snaking can't even escape. The Boundless Strike comes down. GG is called. Liquid having very few struggles here in this game, as this one was very close to, if not complete domination from the mid-game onwards. Tundra just completely disassembled. They never were able to get anything done. As far I don't remember